that's where a lot of calls come in and say, hey, I want to list my house for sale.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Elite Agent Secrets show. Today we've got Clark Kietong with us. He's been in real estate for 3.5 years, 193 deals, 74 million in production as a single agent, and is absolutely loving it. He's going to be breaking down his 3 topics to success: mindset, negotiation, and social media. And we're looking forward to unpacking this with him today. Clark, thank you for jumping on the show with us today. How you doing, my man?
All good. It's a pleasure to be here. And all of this is to help other agents become better marketers for themselves. And I'm glad if they'll be able to get a little bit of nugget of information from me. I'll be happy.
Dude, 193 deals in 3.5 years, 74 mil in volume. Those are some impressive numbers. Holy smoke.
Yeah. As of now, it should be, that's about 200, a bit over 200 deals in about 78, I think, million production.
So hold on, give us a little bit of context, give us a little bit of perspective. First of all, where you started, and take us through year 1, year 2, year 3, as we kind of unpack everything that you've been doing, because that's a very big number of units in a very short time frame. I'm not even talking about volume, but what is your average price point?
Average price point now is 420.
Okay.
420, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the price have just gone up so much since like 2 years ago. So before I started real estate, I was a registered nurse for about 7 years. So I was in nursing. So it's not really totally related to it, but my dad is a contractor. My brother is also a contractor. He's an architect. So when we were young, me and my brothers would be in construction sites, messing with the workers. And that's where I learned how to mess with concrete, pavers, paint, and all that. So I had that background already with construction at that point. And of course, my mom told me to take up nursing, so I became a nurse. And then I realized, hey, I'm not really doing what I love to do, which is sales. So I've been doing sales all the way since I was in high school and college, the bunch of different types of sales, and I love doing it. And when I was a nurse, I was just waiting for my opportunity to sell something, and I wanted to prove myself. So I went to real estate school. Told my wife, hey, you got to pay the mortgage, okay? Because it is pretty tough starting out. Many of the new agents would say so, especially if you don't have much reserves, and it's pretty expensive to keep your licenses up. But I wasn't scared, and I just said, hey, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the right way. I joined. I got my license in August of 2018. And started out, networking with clients and friends, and I did a lot of cold calling. I was probably calling 40, 50 people a day for sale by owner expireds, all the way up to 2019, middle of 2019. I stopped doing that since I started just doing social media purely. In 2018 I did like 4 deals. 2019, about 23 deals. 2020 was 66, and 2021 was 86 transactions. Hopefully I'd be able to beat that this year, but who knows?
Wow. So it's very impressive, because you jumped from 1 year to the next pretty significantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you also made a jump, but now you did, a jump of like 20 or 30, so which means you had a little bit of repetition, under your belt. But that jump from your first year to second to third year, like the first jump was a lot more than your second or your third year jump, technically, right?
Yeah. I think I made
Why
a lot
was
of
that?
mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes and a lot of trial and error at the beginning, which I don't regret doing mistakes because you learn from it. And then I just kind of honed in to what I do in social media and just keep doing what works and try to like keep track of what works and what doesn't. And just keep, what gets rewarded gets repeated. Right. So I just go ahead and, continue to do those stuff that I was doing in Facebook, mostly.
So what were some of those mistakes that you can share with us that now you're looking back and you recognize, but you didn't recognize in the moment?
Yes. So when I was doing a lot of cold calling and door knocking, open houses, calling 40 to 50 people, that took like maybe 4 hours a day. And I wasn't really, I was converting for sale by owners and expireds, but in my heart, I know that this is not really what I like to do. And then by maybe the middle of 2019, when I was like tracking what's the source of businesses are coming from, like 50% are coming from social media. And I'm not really putting a lot of time in social media, but a lot of my deals are coming from it because of the few things that I'm doing there. And Gary V, if you've heard him, he said, why? Because I know I'm not the best cold caller out there, but the way I took it up as a challenge and and did it and converted. But Gary V said, why do the things that you're not good at, when you can double down, triple down the effort on what you're good at? And I think I was really good in social media. So what I did, I just put all my focus on social media instead. So, and I was doing organic social media marketing, right? So I concentrated on there, and that's the difference between 2019 and 2020. Three times more production, and then 2019 to 2021, four times more production, right? Because I doubled down on my niche, I doubled on my niche market, and I doubled down on what really works in Facebook.
That's interesting. You're mentioning the niche. First of all, what is your niche? Second of all, how did you find it, define it, and were able to recognize it and become aware of it?
Right. Yeah. So a niche can be a practice. Like, for example, Ryan Serhant, his niche is YouTube, right? And commercial buildings, he can sell any commercial buildings in New York. That's his niche. I think, in the eyes of many people, especially in YouTube, he's the best at selling apartment buildings, like the whole buildings, not just one unit, the whole buildings, $20 million, buildings, something like that. Niche can also be a geographical area. So, for example, there's I know one agent here in Las Vegas who sells the most number of homes in South Summerlin. South Summerlin has the most, among the most expensive zip codes in the city, and he sells the most number of homes in that area. He also lives there, by the way, but his concentration of production is on that area, and that's his niche. That's his geographical niche. People call it a farm. So some niche are also like practice, like commercial. There's a guy who would only sell churches. That's his niche. He also funds churches, so they are also private lender, and he's a realtor that sold the most number of church zone properties in the city. So that's his niche. So now my niche is a social niche. So my niche is I concentrated on the Filipino community, specifically the healthcare Filipino community. So if you go to any of the hospitals here and you see a Filipino nurse, ask them, hey, who's a realtor that you know? 9 out of 10, I would guarantee they know who I am. They would know, that would say my name, because that's my niche. There's no other agent out there who would target, who would target the healthcare community and the Filipino community. So I think 80% of my clients are in the healthcare field. So that's my niche. Once an agent would know what his niche is, where he concentrates on, where he knows that he's the best on that niche, that's the difference between a top producing agent and a general agent.
Do you think like you're missing out on business by being so narrowly focused on the Filipino healthcare niche?
I'm already too busy with just that niche, so I don't think I'm missing out.
Right? Like the reason I'm asking, because Andrew and I, we go back and forth on this all the time. We've had a few other guests talk about, niching down. And the biggest fear like that I have, and probably a lot of our audience, it's like, okay, what if I'm picking the wrong niche and then I quote unquote run out of people, or I run out of being able to build my business, or I can't do enough transactions, right? Like what if I'm too quote unquote narrow? But you're very specific, and you're our first guest that is so specific that it not only goes down to the profession, but to the geographic area, but also the demographic as well. And you're saying you're way too busy, which is
way too busy. I also enjoy it. The reason why I have a good connection with that niche, because I was a registered nurse for 7 years, so I know what they're experiencing right now. I know the troubles that they have, and I know I know what's happening in their world. So I can connect with them a lot, and they can connect with me a lot. And when that happens, trust happens, and then I can get them under contract faster. That's how I look at it.
I like it. So that was like a bonus topic there, Clark. It's a bonus one for all our listeners. But what I want to do is I want to actually dive into your first official topic, which is mindset. Yeah. Something we talk about a lot, but I always like to let our guests start unpacking it first. So why is mindset your first secret to success?
Yeah, this may be one of the most important recipe in anyone, and anyone who wants to become successful. So on the NAR study, National Association of Realtors study, they said that 87% of new agents fail. When they say fail, they don't renew their license in 2 years. So 87%. So that's like 9 out of 10, round it up, right? And that's kind of sad. I think they need to do something about it. They need to make agents more prepared when they get out of there. There's no other industry out there that I know that's kind of like that, aside from network marketing. But anyway, so in Gary Keller's book called Shift, How Real Estate Agents Thrive in a, I think he said in a
market.
The market sucks, kind of like, in a difficult market, right? He said that there's a cycle of agents, of agents coming in and agents going out. So when they feel like the market is going up, so many agents are coming in. And when the market is not that profitable anymore, so many agents get out. But those who stay are getting those businesses left by these people who went out by default, just because they're licensed, so they're getting that business, and that's how they make a lot of money from that cycle. So, and a lot of the reason that so many people get out of the market is, I think, lack of. I mean, there's a problem with their mindset. They feel like they're losing, so they get out of there. On the book by Tim Grover called Relentless. So when I started as a real estate agent, I questioned every day what the hell went to my head that I went into this market, right? So I read the book by Tim Grover, and he said that when you're hustling and you're doing your work, your nose is on the ground and you're hustling, and you think about quitting, and trust me, 100% of the agents, I think, thought about quitting when they first started out. When I think about quitting, your competition is also thinking about the same way, and most likely they will quit. But if you hang on to it, you will win. So just keep at it. That's what he said. That's on the book Relentless.
There's an amazing quote. I think it was Theodore Roosevelt. I think, but I know the quote, and the quote is, "When you feel like you're getting to the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hold on."
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is like such a visual thing that you can, because everyone manages holding on it, your hand just slips off, right? And then that's it, it's over. And it's like such a visual thing. It's like tie a knot in it and hold the fuck on. So it's going to be one hell of a ride, and a lot of people let go, and it's like, just tie a knot and hold on, And for some reason, that one more than others is stuck with me, because I can visualize tying a knot and the fact that it's harder. There's more resistance now to kind of pull it through.
Right.
And that kind of sums that up as well. I think it was Roosevelt. I'd have to check.
That's a perfect quote to what I was talking, because once, because if you hang on to it, all the other competitors will quit, and cycle comes in. You will get the business just because of your license. That's it by default. And it's important to know your why also. As to why you got into the business. Definitely for me, I got into business because I want to provide a better life for my family. That's about it. And give, generational wealth. And then from that why, then it goes to different whys as to helping other agents, helping my fellow Filipino realtors, be better, be successful, something like that.
When we talk about, I was going to say, when we talk about mindset on, let's say, like a practical level, what would you say some of the things that you do on either a daily, might be weekly, might be monthly, might be yearly basis? I don't know, whether you're going to retreat, whether you're listening to motivational YouTube videos every day, like everyone's got a different source. Yeah. So from a practical level, what are some of the things that you do that you feel like have aided in a mindset that has allowed you to win? Because you have won at a extremely high level very, very quickly. Like, you are in the 1% of the 1%, with regards like production, and in such a short period of time, like it's pretty mega numbers. So let's go practical mindset wise. What are some of the things that you do?
Yeah. So I'm kind of weird because the things that I do, a lot of people don't agree with.
So I love how you preface that. I'm kind of weird. This is going to be a great answer.
I love it, man.
So when I wake up, I start with zero. Yeah, of course I got 20 contracts currently. But when I wake up, I would think to myself that I have zero contracts. I have zero contracts currently. I have nothing in escrow. I have no clients. I have no prospects. I clear my mind off, and when I do that, I get to that, that monster zen, like, hey, I'm gonna have to freaking hustle right now, and get those contracts today, get those appointments today. So that's what I do. I would think that I have zero in my bank account. Start with zero, start fresh every day, and that kind of helped me a lot. For some people that doesn't do well with them, they think it's a scarcity mindset. For me, it makes me a lot stronger. And it helps me clear my mind and on to the next, and move on and push forward with getting those appointments, with getting those contracts and following up with those clients. When things get kind of hard, for a lot of agents, when they get overwhelmed, where it's not fun anymore, where they want to go to this party, but again they have this client around this time, and I'm like, what the hell? They want to go to their kids' a recital, they want to go to their game practice, but they can't because they have this appointment with this client who's not getting their contract. And because it's so hard to get a contract, and for buyers, things like that happen many times in an agent's life. And what I do is I just schedule vacations. When I say vacations, like 2-week vacations, helps you clear your mind, makes you more mentally stable, not to kill your clients, you know. And a lot of times when you're on vacations, you that's where a lot of calls come in and say, hey, I want to list my house for sale. So it's good to go on vacation sometimes. The last vacation I did was in Orlando. I booked about 3 listing appointments, and I took 2 of them. The other one wasn't ready yet. So yeah, take more vacations. Clear your mind up.
Oh, and by the way, would you consider yourself a maverick? Are you an agent, team leader, broker owner who's constantly striving, pushing boundaries and smashing goals? Well, we've already helped over 100 agents cross $100,000 and up in GCI per year. So if you're interested in learning more about our courses and coaching to help you scale your business, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.